All right, race fans, we are back again. Only two of us here today, and got to thank my boy Changa here. We're doing one way past his bedtime. I can tell you that. So he's a trooper. Give him some props. Episode 292. Your host Brian Aho, your co-host, my right hand man Changa in the house. How the hell are you? How the hockey game go? I know your kid at hockey today. Did he win?
They didn't win. They lost 6-4 with an empty netter to a team that had beaten us 8-0 and 8-1 this year. So we definitely made some strides. We damn near tied it at the end, but unfortunately we ended up on the short end of the stick tonight. But good warm up game.
Minnesota team, Wisconsin team.
It was a Wisconsin team.
Okay.
Yep.
Did he get more points than penalty minutes?
Yeah, 2.0 penalty minutes.
All right. Gonna have to teach him to get out the foil, kind of like on. I want him to be inspired by the Hanson brothers, right, on Slapshot. I don't think that's quite in him. He's more inspired by Gretzky.
I think on the year he has 33.0 penalty minutes.
Oh, man, we got to toughen that kid up a little bit. I want to see him. I want to see him scrapping out there. I don't know if dad or mom does. Mom probably gonna get pissed if I say that. So, regardless, they kind of getting ready. They looking like they're going to be ready for state tournament coming up. What is that? A couple weeks away. What do we got here?
We're going there Friday.
Friday. Is that Madison?
It's down in a place called Heartland, Wisconsin, down by Waukesha, Milwaukee area, I believe.
Okay. You never know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. I'll be home. Maybe I'll make a trip up and see you guys. All right. Episode 292 brought to you by Impact Health Sharing. So if you're in the market, right, if you pay for your own health insurance, or if you're a small business and you pay for health insurance for you, your family, maybe your employees, you're a farmer, whatever it may be, if you pay for your own health insurance and you're looking at your bottom line and you're wondering what the heck happened in 2026 as health insurance premiums absolutely skyrocketed out of control across the country, well, look no more. I might have a solution for you. Now, understand, you got to be in pretty good health. Not anything major in the last 3 years, but if you're in pretty good health, I'm telling you right now, we might be able to save you a ton of money. Looking at $650 roughly for a family with a $2,500 household deductible. It's unbelievable. So hit me up. My number is 218-969-1380. Message me, text me, call me, whatever you want to do. I can get you a quick, absolutely no obligation quote, get you the information you need to see if we can save you money on health insurance costs for 2026. That's Impact Health Sharing by Ryan Aho. All right, Changa, we're going to start with this because I know you're a big NASCAR guy, okay? And this is a throwback, right? Throwback to our boy Brad, NASCAR Brad, right? We're going to throw back to him.
Oh, my God.
NASCAR makes my head hurt. I'm not going to lie. When I was a kid, right, which was a long time ago, right? Black and white TVs, right? Wooden wheels, you name it. NASCAR was cool. We loved it, right? Dale Earnhardt, Harry Gant, Darrell Waltrip, right? The legends in the sport. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But, I didn't pay much attention to NASCAR this year. I did watch about 8 laps of the Daytona 500. I did catch the very end. But I know our boy Mac was over at the duels. He said, I got to be honest, the experience at Daytona was better than the experience at Volusia. And he enjoyed Volusia, but, he'd never been to Daytona. And let's face it, even if you're not a big NASCAR guy anymore, the mystique of going to Daytona is it's Daytona, right? Daytona 500. But, one thing that stuck out to me, Changa, and kind of a cool name, I think this guy maybe races some crate stuff. We've seen this guy's name before, Anthony Alfredo. Remember that name? Seen that a few different places. So he qualified for the Daytona 500 in the duels.
I saw it, yeah.
DQ'd at post-race tech. So I'm thinking, wow, what do you get DQ'd body? I'm thinking it's got to be body infraction, right? Because so much aero or whatever. Do you know what he got DQ'd for?
I do. Apparently, some hoses weren't tied up well enough, or not tied up at all, and they DQ'd him. And then, if I'm not mistaken, they DQ'd him and didn't even let him run the race.
Yeah, he didn't qualify for the Daytona 500. He was out. He made it in, and so it was a transaxle cooling hose and a driver cooling hose. Okay, evidently they had them taped up instead of zip tie. The tape came off, and they kind of flopped around. He was like the last place car. He was like literally the last place car running. Everybody else was like way behind, like laps down. Like it clearly wasn't an advantage. He wasn't battling for a win. I mean, what are we talking about? I say that to say this, right? We're super critical of all the nitpicking nonsense WISSOTA has done over the last decade or longer, right? It ain't just WISSOTA, right? It's NASCAR. We've seen IMCA do it. We've seen UMP do it, right? So as critical as I get about the WISSOTA the tech guys in WISSOTA, I mean, literally telling the guy, well, your hoses weren't secured properly, so we're not going to let you race the Daytona 500. What the hell are we talking? Who gives a shit, right? Absolutely, just a head scratcher. So we're in a group chat, right? We got what 15 of us in there, and we're kind of chat racing. We talk smart once in a while, and I saw Uper posted something, and there he's like, "Man, this is exciting, right? The Toyotas are going half throttle." Well, I kind of looked it up, and did you see that actually was a thing? The Toyotas were three wide, and they were doing the fuel mileage game, literally going 50, 60% throttle for a big chunk of the race. Strategy, and those strategies in the Daytona 500 come down from the manufacturers. The manufacturers meet with the teams. They kind of decide how we want to all work together. Toyota teams working together, Ford, Chevy, so on and so forth. In what universe is that entertaining, Sean? I'm going to ask you, is that, I mean, would you be like, I just get up and leave? This is stupid. It's not even racing. Why? Why? I don't get it.
Well, I can tell you what universe, and it isn't any that I live in because I tuned into exactly 0 laps, and I could. I mean, you'd have had to pay me to put it on. There's no thanks. It's not even racing. It's not even fun.
Well, I will say this: at least the dirt guy won, right? Tyler Reddick, dirt guy, ran some late models, and I will say this, right? I saw Jeremy Mayfield posted, if you like the end of that race, you just like wrecking. Well, there was a little bit of carnage at the end, wasn't caused by the guy that won. Tyler Reddick put a badass move on, crossed him over, and did a little bump side drafting off him or whatever. Didn't get him out of shape, didn't wreck the field, didn't crash the guy for the win. I mean, we're used to seeing that, right? Over the last how many years? Last lap, the leader's getting taken out and stuffed in the fence. It's just going to happen every single time. That did not happen. Tyler Reddick put an absolute epic move on to win that race, and that was super cool. Dirt guy right there. So with that said, it was pretty boring overall. I'm super glad that I tuned in to like the last, I think, 8 laps, I think is what I saw. I couldn't have stomached watching a whole thing, right? And let me, I'll say this. So, NASCAR, going back to when we were younger, right? You watched NASCAR when you were younger. I watched NASCAR when I was younger, right? I mean, we think back, we're both big Dale Earnhardt guys, right? I mean, that's what we were. Would NASCAR have even been relevant at all if the dirt guys would have found the TV packages before the NASCAR teams did?
I don't know. I mean, there's the almighty dollar plays such a big part in the NASCAR thing. I mean, you know, you can't even get the late models or the sprint cars to mainstream television at that high of a level. They could never get there. It's just too much of a grassroots hillbilly backyard hick thing that it doesn't appeal to the masses.
Well, I don't know if I agree, right? I don't know if I agree. I mean, if they could have corporatized dirt racing the same way they did, because let's face it, NASCAR was backwoods hillbilly hick racing before TV rights came in too. They're literally stealing cars, bootleggers, right? I mean, so it was the same thing, but they just happened to get that TV rights. That TV money came in. The advertising dollars came in because of TV, right? That the big money came into NASCAR because hey, you're going to be on national TV, the only racing on TV. That brought the money. The money didn't come first, the money came after that. So if they would have, if big time dirt late model racing or whatever would have found that first, sprint car racing, right? There could have been, it could have been, right? And now most of us dirt guys, most of us dirt fans and guys and gals, right? We don't really tune into NASCAR. We don't need to. We can get our fix on streaming pretty much 7 days a week for the most part. So we can watch dirt racing online. And we really have no reason to jump back. So,
Well, and
um,
you said that, like, I feel like when we were kids, when we liked NASCAR, I mean, it was maybe a different game. The personalities were maybe a little bigger and brighter, but you know, the dirt racing season didn't go 11 months of the year, so we needed to find a way to get our fix in the winter too, you know?
yeah, you're right. Because I probably didn't watch a whole lot of NASCAR in the summertime. Well, I kind of did, I guess, when I was a kid, because my dad didn't typically race on Sundays. So Sundays we tune in the NASCAR race at home. But you're right. I mean, the fact is, I mean, it was it's just changed. Times have changed. It's never going to go back. It just, I mean, we can we can beat that horse all day long, man. Boy, the olden days were so much better. And if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. If you're a young guy or whatever watching this, it ain't the same. And I hope like heck that you enjoy the era of racing we're in now, because we want that to grow. But some of us old guys look back and we're like, man, it's just not the same. And sometimes that's, there's some things that are better and there's a lot of things that are worse, and that's just life in general. So that's enough with the asphalt stuff, though. Let's give a shout out to our boy Brad Parson Soil and Egg Solutions. So if you're in western Minnesota, north and south Dakota, I know you're like our boy Uper. You're probably shoveling today because there's a lot of snow. But understand that snow brings moisture that is much needed. I talked to some people out in North Dakota and they're like, it is dry. We're going to need some snow. So they need that for the upcoming season. What else do you need? You need to give Brad a call at 320-219-3542 to learn about all the great products he has that can mix with whatever Mother Nature gives you to work with, right? To give you better yields. Because, Changa, I don't know if you know this or not, right? But the crop prices are terrible. I mean, the farmers right now are absolutely getting their butts kicked. And, let's face it, I talked to several racers up in the Grand Forks area, and they're like, man, when farming's slow, my business is slow, every business is slow. So how do you help the economy? Well, one way is to get better yields. How do you do that? Call Brad. He'll take care of you, and maybe that'll help in 2026. Little bit of Wissota news. Late breaking here, Chong. I didn't have it on the agenda. I got some news from some sources, and they officially. So we talked. They were looking at shrinking the tech committee, and based on my sources, there might be a couple more that are axed. I'm not sure, but a few people that are off the teching list no longer. I don't want to say employed by Wissota, because for the most part it was pretty much a volunteer deal. I think there might have been a little bit of per diem in there or whatever. Tom Wagaman no longer on the tech committee. Yeah, which I don't think he wanted to be on there anyway. He's already on the board. He's got the racetrack that he owns. Of course, they got Wagaman Brothers Performance Engines. They build engines, and I think that he just wanted to shy away from the drama. He likes to be involved. He likes to help, but I think he was like, my fun meter with this deal's pegged. We'll let somebody else do it. But a few tech guys that were on the committee talk about Kenny, Gene, Pogo, those three all off the tech committee. So interesting. I don't know who's all on there. Sounds like Russ Ebert, Phil Merton, Nate Fisher, of course, Rick Tennis, um, Dean Shoneman, I believe, is on there. I think Todd Good is still on there. So yeah, they shrunk it down. Sometimes that's good, right? Sometimes too many people, you can't make a decision on anything. Is it a good old boys club? I don't know, right? I guess time will tell. We'll see what things look like at the end of 2026, but quite honestly, financial troubles. I'm telling you, not a lot of money to be had there in Wissota, so they're things are maybe going to get a little worse before they get a little bit better. All right.
We talked about this in the past, but I just wanted to send a little shout out to our boy Pogo. I think it's time he come on the show now. If he's not going to be the tech guy anymore, I think I'd like to get him on the show, get some opinions, things he thinks that could change that would be better or for the better, I guess. Some things that could go away that aren't good.
I think that would be good. I had some sources tell me that if he didn't get employed by Wasota, right, that he's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just come on the show. I'll have to reach out to him and see if he actually said that, if that was the case, because it'd be good to have him on. He's been heavily involved the last 2 years. Maybe we can find out, what needs to change, what needs to be better. I mean, I'd love open invitation. Pogo, if you want to jump on, get a hold of us. We'll have you on here next week. Let's do it. All right. Did you see a schedule drop today, Changa?
I didn't get to see it today. I was too busy having a snow day at work.
The number one dirt modified series in the country.
Soda Modifieds dropped?
Nope.
What?
USMTS schedule dropped today. 44 events, 10 states, 50 grand to win the USMTS championship in 2026. Couple things that stuck out. They got a pretty cool little tour in July. I think they've kind of been doing this, but Casino Speedway in Watertown, Princeton, Ogilvie, Granite City. So mid-July, that's going to be a great swing for us Minnesota, northern part of the country people. Interesting one, June 27th, Macon, Illinois, the little 5th mile bull ring,
Nice.
UMP versus USMTS.
Nice.
So that is going to be cool. That's a badass little bull ring right there.
Yeah,
That. I'm here to tell you, Changa, I've been to Fairbury, and I'm pretty confident in saying the
been
UMP
inside.
mod drivers drive like they have their eyes closed most of the time. So these USMTS guys better buckle up because they're not afraid to get Western in UMP country. They will tear your shit up. I'm telling you. So they better buckle up for that one. All right. So let me ask you this: couple questions for you. Who's the favorite in your eyes to win the 2026 USMTS Modified Championship?
I know what you're going to say. And, I think that, the low hanging fruit would be Rodney Sanders, right? Going back to back. But I'm going to go with Jim Chisholm to bounce back after a pretty rough year last year. He did win a big race or two, but for the most part, he didn't have the speed. So I'm going to go with Jim Chisholm.
Oh, Jim Chisholm's always good, right? And you know, hmm, well, man, oh man, I got a couple to keep an eye on. We'll talk about
I
that in
know,
a
I know
second.
who you got there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Rodney is the low-lying fruit. The guy's got so much experience. He's got a big notebook. Um, but year number two, I'm gonna go opposite of you. I'm gonna go Smoke. I'll go Joe. Um, Jim Chisholm. I mean, two totally different driving styles, right? Joe is super fun to watch. He's gonna wreck more shit because he's on the wheel and he's banging the boards and selling T-shirts, right? And Jim is he's Kelly Esty, right? He's the bottom guy. He'll kind of snarf you a little bit with that right rear. He's good at it.
They're
Um,
pretty similar.
but I think Joe Chisholm's going to be fun to watch. And if I had to, I think the second year big notebook, I'm gonna take Joe. Now, couple of guys to keep, couple dark horses here, right? And give me, I don't want to say dark horse for the championship, maybe, but just give me somebody that, other than those two guys, and of course Rodney, right? Because he's a staple. Who's somebody that you're looking forward to seeing what they can do on the tour this year in USMTS?
Without a doubt, Brandon Davis. That's the guy I'm excited to see. I mean, he can always perform toe to toe with anybody at home. Let's see what he can do going out on the road and 44 race deal and some places that he doesn't have a notebook for. I'm really excited to see that.
Brandon Davis, massively talented, super smart, hell of a race car driver. Um, I don't know if I don't know what his backing is like. I don't know what his budget is like. I mean, it becomes a grind, but I mean, it's only 44 shows, right? Some people are like, only 44 shows. I run 20 a year. For a national touring series, 44 is not a bunch. They kind of got it spread out. So Brandon Davis is going to win some races. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't win the most races. Like he's gonna be a contender. But there's a kid that I watched down in Arizona, and boy, he was pretty darn good last year. I think he snuck a win or two in there. Reese Solander is somebody I'm super excited. Now, I haven't heard confirmation if he's going to run USMTS. I assume he is.
I think I did read that he was going to.
Okay, that kid is super fun to watch as well. Keep an eye on Solander in the 5. So pretty excited for the USMTS series. Race and Dirt is where you find all the action. They do a hell of a good job. So check that out online. So how about a shout out here, new sponsor here, Agara Cafe. So you coffee drinkers out there, okay? Let's just face it, coffee, the number one most consumed beverage in the world next to water. And if you're a coffee drinker, right? I mean, it's a ritual. You drink coffee every day. But what if there was a coffee out there that had 10 supplements in it that helped you feel better, whether it was joint pain, help you lose weight, mental clarity, help with your blood sugar numbers, a multitude of other health benefits that it has. What if there was a coffee out there that could make you feel better and taste good at the same time? Would it be worth checking out? I think it would. Hit me up. You can just text me or reach me on Facebook. I can shoot you some information. I've been drinking this coffee now, I guess about 6 weeks, and it's been phenomenal for me. I'm an energy drink guy, 2 a day. Haven't needed to drink any energy drinks, so it's been fantastic for me. So I can get you some information on Agara Cafe. So I made a trip this week, Changa. Went down to the 83 shop on Sunday. I went down to go see if we can make old Dave Dulciak a little quicker here in 2026 and making a step in the right direction. Pretty confident. Got a new shock guy working with actually the same guy that Ricky Thornton Jr. kind of working with, right? On when he ran that car, that Royal race car. Same group of people there. But man, I told him last year, Changa, I'm like, you got a bind in that thing. I mean, there's a bind. The car don't move. It's flat. Don't do nothing. Don't move, right? Well, he's right. He's like, I ran the damn thing through its travels all the time. Like, I mean, and he worked his tail off. He did it with the shock stuff. Half the shock mounts were bound up, right rear bound up, right front bound up. There was issues, and the left front shock mount was in the wrong location. It is what it is, but pretty confident rolling in, right? He could not find the winner's circle last year. What do you have? Double-digit wins a couple of years ago, right? And just one of those years, just struggle bus. And I'm pretty confident. I might have to make a bold prediction on this one when we get to it. I might put my money where my mouth is this year, but he's hard at her. He's kind of he found some things, and I think pretty confident things are going to look up here for 2026.
No, is he intending to do kind of the same as last year, running Fairbury against
No,
the Cardinals, or are you going to go back home and?
He's going to run Sycamore, and there's a couple different reasons behind that. It's so much closer. I mean, it's literally 15 minutes away from home versus 2 hours, and you drive all the way down to Fairbury, and freaking family can't even go down and watch because 2 hour drive on a Friday or a Saturday, I should say, and his wife works and all that. And so it's just way easier for him and his family and everybody to race at Sycamore. So it looks like that's probably going to be the plan. Going to run a few shows. He's going to run some at Fairbury. He'll run like the big show there, and he'll run a few shows early in the year because I think they open up a month or so before Sycamore. So we'll get some shows in before that starts, and you just never know. If he gets off to a good start down there, maybe he changes his mind and keeps on going to Fairbury. I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes after the first month.
Your bold prediction better be a big number then if he's going back home where he never loses.
Well, he's got Zuby up there to contend with. He's got that 4 car has been pretty darn quick. He kind of owned the place last year, but Dave was fast enough a couple of years back though where Zuby quit racing there. So there is that. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Crew chief, one of the most legendary crew chiefs in the history of racing, right? Gone, done. R.I.P. Harry Hogg. And we lost Jonathan Moxon here a couple days before that, right? Quarterback for the West Canaan Coyotes. So, I mean, us are some of our childhood people that I shouldn't say that. Jonathan Moxon, right? James Vanderbeek's younger than me. He was younger than me, but Varsity Blues was an all-time staple. But was there ever a better racing movie, universally than Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
You're gonna say Six Pack?
Well, I don't know. They're all good in their own way.
I would say that Days of Thunder is easily the most popular, though.
Talladega Nights makes me laugh the most.
Oh gosh, stop it already! Stop it. So yeah, I mean, Harry Hog, I can picture you giving signals and saying, "Yeah, we're busy eating ice cream." I can picture you saying that.
No,
Special tires, right?
I
Special
don't think
tire.
I've had ice cream in 15 years.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I saw that, and I got to be honest. That kind of stings. You kind of look and I'm a big movie guy, right? I love watching movies. I mean, pretty much my entire life, I always watch a movie before I go to bed. I bet I've seen Days of Thunder no less than 100 times, and to see him gone and all that, it just kind of sucks. But I mean, it just means we're getting older. That's what that means. So let's jump into another sponsor here, Changa, East Central Sports. So I actually stopped in there a couple days back. First time I ever been there actually. So
Thanks.
Rush City, Minnesota, just north of the Twin Cities on I-35. You take the Rush City exit. You go, I guess it would be west. You go about a mile. It's on the right hand side. Beautiful shop there. They're your number one source for you know pit bikes, kids ATVs. They got a surplus of both of them there. They got Toro lawnmowers. He's got a big shipment coming in of like some pretty badass golf carts. We were kind of looking at some things. I got one. I kind of got my eye on one that he has coming in. So I'm going to be getting a golf cart from him. So we'll have a cool kids toy to drive around at the USA Nationals this year. But let them know you heard about them on the One to Go show. You get $100 discount, and you can reach them at 320-358-1994, or check them out online at www.eastcentralsports.com. So thanks a lot, Mac, for all you do. So late model stuff here. We had a little bit of racing happen this last week. I mean, Speed Weeks is going on, and we got the big block mods down there, and we got there's all kinds of stuff going on, but late model's kind of big thing this past week. What stuck out to you in the late model world this past week?
Well, I guess what stuck out is obviously I think Hoffman was probably the cream of the crop down there, which he always is. He kind of owns Volusia. He's got
Right.
like what 37 wins at that place now. So that's a go-to, one of his very best racetracks. Um, the 32 car kind of salvaged his Florida trip with, I think he went like 20th to third, 21st to third, and then like 19th to second or something crazy like that. Just three crazy good runs to get on the podium to not fall too far behind getting out of that place, at one of his bad tracks. So
T-Mac had a couple pretty good runs too. He had one
yeah,
from deep up to second as
yeah,
well.
he was really good that night.
Right. And, like you said, Hoffman kind of owns a place, but, we talk about this, right? As I'm wearing a 32 hat, I'm going to pick on your boyfriend a little bit. Um, Kind of a cuddler. You told me all the years that I was racing and you're my crew chief, cuddling makes you slow. You told me that. I believed you. I
Makes you slow.
I think it makes
You
everybody
just
slow.
you can't do anything in moderation. You just cuddle and forget you have a race car, and
I
that
mean,
pissed us off
I,
when we
I
had to
think
do all
I
the
mean
work.
is Bobby more interested in TikTok videos and cuddling and domesticated and holding hands and going on vacation and playing kissy face?
I
Is
don't
he
know. It
more
makes him.
interested in that than winning? Did he? Are you sure he didn't lose his mean streak?
Well, we'll talk about that.
Huh? I mean, are you sure?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Ask Huddy how many times has he smashed into Huddy this year? I don't. I think he's still plenty mean.
yeah, but he didn't get no. He did not translate him to win, so he's kind of mean, and then he must feel bad, and then he's like, "Well, I'm not going to win now. I bumped into a guy, and I'm sad." I don't know. I mean, is Hoffman right now? Right? I mean, coming red hot, coming off Volusia, right? He's got a bigger notebook, couple years of experience underneath his belt now, right? Solid year last year. What did he get second? Did he get second in the World of Outlaw points? On the rise.
Well, for sure.
Is the Thrill from Mooresville the favorite to win the World of Outlaw points for the late models in 2026.
Anybody who says that needs to seriously lay off the drugs. I mean, to me, Pierce has already won the championship because if Hoffman didn't get out of Florida with a 100-point lead, he was screwed.
It might be 100 after Hendry County. It's a
Well, I mean,
sandy,
it would be
marbly
pretty
track.
tough. It's 27 now. I mean, it would have to be a disaster for that to happen. But if Pierce gets out of Florida under 50 points, it'll be a cakewalk just like last year.
Boy, I don't know. I think you sure he's
No,
not going to take a.
I don't think Pierce is going to win as many races as he did last year, but he's still going to win the points, and he's going to win the points. As long as he's ahead by 50 going to Charlotte, because they start the year at his worst track and they end the year at his other worst track,
He might not even finish in the top two. T Mac might be more hungry than he is right now.
well, you should use that as a bold prediction.
I just might. I don't
You
want you to
probably
snipe
should.
me though.
I'll
I,
go
I
the
got.
other way. I'll go the other way.
I mean, maybe Pierce is getting kind of old. He's getting
Well, he
kind of old.
is. What's he, 29-ish now?
Washed.
Okay.
He might be
So
washed.
I'm going to put my money on the most talented late model driver in the history of the game, the number 32, the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce.
Okay, so you're saying Nick Hoffman's the favorite, then, is what you're saying?
Not a chance.
You know, I mean, can Pierce? You sure that he's not going to take a vacation partway through the year, and Abby's going to be like, I think we need to go on a cruise, or
Probably
we,
will.
yeah, we need to take a couple weeks off here because I want to cuddle.
Doesn't matter. I mean, he's got people that get paid to work on the car. He just has to show up and drive it. He didn't forget how to do that.
Well, we'll find out. Boy,
Well, let's be honest. If you could have that gig, you go make some TikTok videos and cuddle. Someone else does all the work. You just had to show up and drive the car. How awesome would that be?
well, it
I'm
would
pretty
be
sure
so.
that's what you wanted to happen, but you didn't pay us well enough.
Hey, you got free McDonald's most of the time, so that's why
Never.
that's why we look like we do. That's why we look like we do. So it'll be interesting. I think that Hoffman's going to have a. I think this is his year. I think he's on the rise, but we'll talk
I
about
mean,
more that
I'm
more when
thinking that
more predictions come.
I'm thinking Hoffman's going to break out and win a crown jewel this year. I mean, he's due. He's the next guy due to win a crown jewel.
I feel like he's pretty darn consistent, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, he's a good
Hoffman.
shoot. He's good.
Yeah, he's not a guy that's you got to worry about him ripping the deck tin off the car every
Yeah.
other night either. So it'll be interesting for sure. Another.
But here's the thing: Turbo's going to rip the deck tin off of him
Oh,
and everybody else.
Turbo. Well, that could be a thing. That could be a thing. Turbo. Let me ask you this. There's a question.
That would be how Hoffman wins the title: as Pierce and
Who
Turbo reignite their feud and start tearing each other up every night.
who is Turbo gonna end up having a big feud with first? Is it gonna be Pierce, T Mac, or I'm talking anything that's happened before this don't count.
Hmm?
From now forward, who's the big drama gonna be involving Turbo first? Because my guess is gonna be all of them, right?
Well,
But
I don't
Pierce,
think
Hoffman, or T Mac.
I don't think it's going to be either. I mean, Pierce would be the obvious answer, but I think it's going to be Gustin because they're kind of both the same speed in that same area of the racetrack. Both can be really fast. Both can be really jacked out of shape. I mean, I could see them two just being around each other a lot, tearing each other up.
It's gonna be must see TV, right? Because I'm
Mhm.
telling you right now, Pierce is not afraid to get rip the lip. He's not. He drives freaking hard, and you put Turbo in there, and Turbo's not quite as polished for sure, but he brings it. There's no question. He brings it, and you get that group of
Well,
people.
they're going to wreck
You
each
add.
other.
I truly believe that the World of Outlaws might end up being a better overall product for fans, specifically because Turbo's there, and you just don't know what the hell he's going to do. Because let's face it, RTJ's great, but he's kind of boring. Davenport said that doesn't sound like he's even going to follow a tour, right?
Right?
Brandon Overton's boring. He's great, but he's boring. Sheppy's great, but he's boring, right?
Buddy,
Huddy's great, but kind of boring. The two
right?
most volatile drivers right now in late models is Pierce, who's elite level talent and absolutely will drive over you if he has to, and Turbo, he's good, but he's not great, but
He'll
he is
probably drive over you if
absolutely
he's trying not to.
100%. So adding Turbo to that mix, I'm telling you right now, that's
That's going to
good for
make a
the
lot
World of
of sense.
Outlaws. That is good for the World of Outlaws for sure. Another driver, did you see who happened to land a ride? Guy we talked about last week.
Is that for sure, or was that just a question mark? Because when I saw it, it was just a question mark. With are we talking about Tanner English to the Riggs team?
Was that a question mark? I thought that was a
I,
for sure
I
deal.
thought so. I thought it was. Is he going there? Question mark. But
Oh, I guess
I
I
mean,
got
I certainly hope so. I mean,
right.
it's another, you know, is he? I didn't see. I was looking at times at practice tonight down at Alltech. I would assume he'd have probably been there. If he was running for Riggs, he could get a jump on that Lucas tour right now, and they haven't started yet.
Right, right.
I didn't see his name, but I wasn't looking for it either.
Yeah, I guess I'm not 100% positive. Somebody knows it can put it in the comments for sure.
I guess I had one more thing I just wanted to touch on here from Volusia. What did you think about Dallin Murdy down there? I thought he was pretty impressive. I thought he had a pretty nice debut week down there, making shows and run with some good cars. Passed Bobby in a heat race the one night, and I thought he did a heck of a job.
If that kid has the budget, he's going to win some races, right? I mean, he's a very, very talented driver. Obviously, he won in the stock cars, he won in the modifieds. He jumped up into the late models last year. What was it, the SLMR series? Is that what he ran?
Yeah.
And he won races there. The kid's elite level talent. So, have you seen what his plans are for this year? I don't think he's going to follow that.
Maybe they're going to run a pick and choose. I think it's an AK car, isn't it?
I'm not positive on that.
I think they're running AK cars.
Okay. And he was still pretty quick, right? So
He
kind
was
of
faster than Strickler.
right, right. Yeah, the game changer, Dallin Murdy, a guy to keep an eye on in the dirt late model world for sure.
Hmm.
So how about a shout out here to Fast Lane Motorsports and Powder Coating up in Ashland, Wisconsin. Probably busy up there shoveling snow right now too. So Chris and the gang, of course, they build the Galloper chassis, and they're the number one sponsor of the best series in Wissota Racing, the Northland Superstock Series. Season opener for that, July 10th, Tarde Memorial, Hibbing Speedway, Hibbing, Minnesota. 67-67 to win for Superstocks. Superstock drivers, mark your calendars. Opening weekend right there, 67-67 to win. Big money on the line. Now, that said, Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating, awesome group of people, right? They service a lot of racetracks throughout the Northland. And they do custom fabricating, they do powder coating, awesome powder coating, they do sandblasting. They can build anything you need. They can get anything you need for racing, whether it's tires, parts, you name it, safety equipment. That is your go-to for all things racing. Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating up in Ashland, Wisconsin. So we were going to do a bullseye or BS this week, and just Bert's not on here. So you still want to kind of do something here.
Oh, I mean, it would save you some research putting together a question if you saved it for next week, but I don't care either way.
Yeah, we'll just save it. We'll just save it for next week and let Bert come on. And it's 11:37 that we're doing this, and I don't have to work at 7 or 8 in the morning. You do, so we'll
Mhm.
just kind of we'll just skip that for you. But we'll jump into the pickums here. So our pickums, boy, Dan Filto, right? Ornery little Frenchman, right? That's what we call his dad, the angry little Frenchman. Harlow Filto. If you guys are from the Twin Ports, he was flagman in Superior for a number of years. And boy,
You
when I
didn't
was
take no shit.
boy, when we've known the whole family, been friends with him forever, and I'm surprised because when I was young and super super mouthy, I'm still mouthy, but I'm old and mouthy. When I was young and super mouthy, and he was a flagman, I think I probably raised his blood pressure a time or two. Okay. I'm pretty positive of that. But Dano dominated. I mean, he won by a pretty large margin, I think 3 or 4 points this week. And I only had like 1 or 2 points even coming into the final day. I salvaged it on the final day and actually did something. And I think you do have the most points right now in the pick'ems part of it, don't you? Who does?
I think Tardy still does, and I think Dano's second, and I'm third. I think I'm a point behind Dano now.
You're talking overall. I'm talking just the
So
pickups.
I think just the pick'ems. I think.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Well,
And
Tar
whatever it is, it's really tight
it
anyhow.
is. So JR, so Tardy is leading. He's at 102 in our overall standings. And when we talk about standings, we did a draft, we do drafts and we kind of separated them out. So Tardy's at 102, Dano's at 96, Changa, you're at 90. So you're in third, you're 12 points back. Governor at 87, Josh out in Watertown, South Dakota. Then we got the new guy there, Mudflap and Uper, tied at 84 for fifth. The rest of us not even worth mentioning. We have a lot of work to do. Dug myself a big hole. Boy, oh boy, Justin Grant. I mean, he finally got a win, but I picked him, I think, 6 nights, and that just was not a good deal. Matt Shepard looked like he was non-existent all week. Boy, he got slow all of a sudden. I don't know what is it. Is it because his car's so stupid looking? I
I don't
hate
know.
white car. That thing's
He was
ugly.
slow last year too. I don't know.
Yeah, I should have picked Williamson. White's been quick as well
Well, yeah,
too.
and that's what I did. I made the mistake. I picked White all 4 nights in a row, and then
Yeah.
Williamson wins a couple. And instead of taking the obvious answer, you try to be different.
But we're only in February. We got a lot of racing left to happen. So I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna have to dig myself out of a hole here. So what are we picking this week, Tonga?
So this week we are picking the Clash on the Coast, IMCA modifieds and stock cars at Northwest Florida Speedway in Baker, Florida. We are picking Lucas Oil late models at Alltech Raceway in Lake City, Florida. We're picking World of Outlaw late models at Hendry County Motorsports Park in Clewiston, Florida. And we are picking UMP Dirt Car Modifieds. It's the PJ Wiggins Memorial Race at Ocala, Florida, in Ocala, Florida, at Ocala Speedway.
Have you seen an overview picture of that place?
I did. You told me to look at it, so I did look at it. It's great big sweeper on one end and a hairpin on the other end.
Right. And you watch it on TV. So race fans, listening to this, if you haven't done this, right? We've all seen the track or whatever. But if you haven't actually seen an overview of Ocala Speedway, of Ocala Raceway, jump on Google Maps or Google Earth and just type in Ocala Raceway and actually look at that track. It's like super unique. I raced there in a modified when I went down there with John Carpenter back in what was it, 08 or 09, 09 it would have been. And it was super unique. It was very, very challenging, kind of a fun racetrack because it was so different. And then, Dano told me this, and I'm not sure. And he's actually down there. So Dano, he's down there with his dad. They're going to Hendry County.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're going to be down there. We got eyes in the sky down there, and that is the southernmost racetrack in the United States.
Yeah,
Southernmost racetracks in the country. And I told him, I'm like, are you sure there's got to be something in South Texas? Nope. I kind of looked at a map and all that. It's definitely the southernmost track. It's not too far from Miami and all that down there. So
people on the podcast, one of the podcasts I was listening to this week said Ocala kind of races almost like a tri-oval the way it's built.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so fast through one and two, and then you got to kind of diamond it off of four. But I'll be honest with you, last year the late model racing was pretty decent. It was pretty good, and when you take into consideration nothing against these tracks, right? But Volusia's not overly exciting. Alltech to me, I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, not that they're all terrible races. Clearly, there was passing when you talk about Pierce and all that, but it's just the big, big half miles, just not quite as entertaining, in my opinion. I think that might be that Ocala swing might end up being the best swing here in a couple weeks as far as entertainment value goes. So let's jump into bold predictions here. So we had a few come off the board. Bert, of course, did not have a prediction last week. He had some stuff going on, and he was ready to do the show this week. And I was driving through a snowstorm. Changa had hockey, and Bert's like, "Guys, I got to work in the morning. I can't be up at midnight." He's a lot older than us. I mean, he's older than us, right? I mean, plus he had heart issues, so we got to let him. He's got to get his rest.
I
You
had
know,
2 feet of snow in my driveway when I got home from work that I had to deal with too. So
you're not the most eligible bachelor on the One to Go show without getting beauty sleep. It just doesn't happen. So Bert's got to get his beauty sleep, and He's doing it for the fans. He's doing it for the fans. He'll be back next week though. So I had two come off the board. I said Lightning Larry White would have 3 top fives, 2 podiums, and a win. Well, he had a win. And he had 2 podiums. He got a second and a first. One night he got 13th, and the other night he got freaking 6th. Missed it by 1. Bad beat on that one. So that was a no. Damn it. Then I said Bobby Pierce would go winless at Volusia. And that was correct. However, I also added to it that he'd only have 1 podium, and he had 3 straight to end the week. So, oops, I should have just stuck with winless on that one. Uper had 3 come off the board as well. We had a rough week. We had an offer. None of us got one right here.
I've had an O for like 2 weeks in a row.
We are terrible at this. I'm going to be honest. We're terrible. So Uper said Justin Grant would finish with 4 top 10s, at least 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s, 2 podiums, and a win. Nope, that did not happen. He said Brandon Overton, Hudson O'Neill, and RTJ would have more wins and more podiums than Bobby Pierce, Chris Madden, and the Reaper Ryan Gustin. That did not happen either. And then he said this. He said the World of Outlaw late models, Nick Hoffman and Ryan Gustin, are going to be the only World of Outlaw regulars to podium Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Bobby Pierce podium Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that was wrong. Chonga, you had 3 come off the board as well. You said the combination of the Overtons, Brandon and Cody, would have a better average finish than RTJ and Bobby Pierce in the 3 Woo races. Nope, it did not happen. You said that Pierce and RTJ would not have any podiums in the World of Outlaw races. Oops. And you said in the USAC, Justin Grant will go winless.
That fucker.
He won the last one to snipe you there, the last one. So we keep track of correct predictions and percentage. And Bert's at 1 correct in his defense. He's missed. He ain't really missed out because like we've sucked at this the last couple of weeks, so he's still in the hunt. He's got 1 correct. Uper and Changa, you both have 2 correct, and I have 5 correct.
And our percentages just got worse, and his stayed the same.
It did, yeah. I'm at 55.6 correct percentage. You and Uper at 18.2, and he's at 14.3. So early in the season, we got a lot of racing to be had there. So I know you got Bert's predictions, and you have your own predictions there.
Where the hell did I put Bert? They're there.
I'll let you find them there.
I found them.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead with Bert's?
Yeah, why don't you start with go Bert's and then go yours, and then I'll go Uper's and I'll go mine.
Okay. So Bert's first prediction is combined RTJ and Devin Moran will have at least 4 podiums at Alltech.
Repeat that.
RTJ and Devin Moran combined will have at least 4 podiums at Alltech.
Okay. Okay. So in the they got 3 nights of racing there, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Yep, 3.
Okay. All right. And now yours?
I'm gonna go RTJ and Devin Moran will have a better average finish than Huddy and Shep.
Okay. Okay. Uper's first prediction here. Turbo Tyler Erb will leave Hendry County with 2 podiums and a win. Oh. And they need to get both nights in for this prediction to count.
Okay.
He's going to podium both nights and win at least one of the nights. Turbo at Hendry County.
Really? Okay.
You said Pierce is down by 27 to Hoffman?
I believe so, yes.
I'm going to go Hendry County as well. Nick Hoffman will have, well, goes without saying he'll have a better average finish, but I'm going to say that Nick Hoffman will extend his point lead by at least 15 points at Hendry. So he's at 27 now. So his point lead will be at least
He's
42
42.
points
Okay.
after Henry County. All right, Bert.
Wisconsin's Rod Schnellenberger will have at least one top five at the Clash at the Coast.
Okay, okay. Um, and I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna assume that's only this weekend's races because that goes through next week. So that would be the Saturday and Sunday of this week because otherwise it won't count for the next week's show. Well, we can clarify on that. I'm assuming that he means that. We can ask him if he means the entire field down there or if he just means this weekend. So if you can write that down, Changa, and maybe text him that tomorrow, that'd be great. And then what is your second prediction?
I'm going to go to Henry County, and I'm going to say T Mac will have a pair of top fives.
That's pretty bold, huh? There is a split field, right, with the Lucas guys at Alltech and they were
Mhm.
a pair of top fives.
Yes.
You don't want to you don't want to add that at least one of them will be a podium or something. I mean, really, a pair of top fives?
I don't know if I have that much confidence in T Mac.
Huh. All right, you sticking with that? That's what you're gonna go with?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't gotten one right in 2 weeks. If it's a
Yeah,
bump,
fair
take
enough.
it, I suppose.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We got to get some tap ins here. All right. So a pair of top fives for T Mac. So Uper's second prediction, he's gonna go to Alltech for the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series. Big sexy Brandon Overton, at least two podiums, at least one win, and leaves as the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series point leader. At least two of the three races need to happen for this to count. But
Yeah.
Overton, Brandon Overton, at least two podiums, at least one win, and the point lead, leading Alltech. USMTS Modifieds. I'm going to say this 44 race season. Brandon Davis will have at least 7 wins.
I think that's a good number.
I'm going to say this, though. I'm gonna protect myself. If he drops off the tour,
It's just a wash.
it's a wash.
Okay.
Yep. If he runs the whole series and he sticks with it, 7+ wins for Brandon Davis in USMTS.
I like that.
All
Bert knows.
right. Third lapper on the track.
Okay. Bert says at least 7 Wisconsin drivers between the mods and stock cars will be at the Clash at the Coast.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen an official entry list. They had one here about a month ago, but it's grown quite a bit since then. So hopefully, it's Peyton Taylor that puts that on. Kind of a neat deal. They even have they have some family days in there. They do a really good job with that down there. I'd like to make it down to that deal one of these years. Does a good job. All right, what do you got for your second one?
Oh, I got a couple of them. I'm going to go to Alltech, and I'm going to say Dallin Murdy will get at least one top 10 at Alltech.
Dallin Murdy at least one top 10 finish at Alltech. Okay, that's fair. That would be, I mean, a top 10 finish for a rookie in the, that'd be a hell of a good run. There's still some hitters down there for sure.
And some of the, I know not a lot, but a couple of them, I think like Troutman and maybe Dotson, a couple of them guys are going to hit the Thursday show at Alltech and then go to Henry County, from what I'm hearing.
Okay, okay. All right, so Uper's third and final prediction for the week. UMP dirt car modifieds are going to be racing at Ocala. Illinois drivers will make up the majority of the podium finishes and will win 50% or more of the A mains, however many races run. Majority of podium finishes and 50% or more of the wins. Illinois UMP dirt car modified. All right. My third and final one here. I'm gonna do a fun one. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go Turbo Tyler Erb, Mr. Excitement himself. Move over Terry Casey, right?
Right?
At some point this year, okay, he will. Nah, I'm gonna make it sooner. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go. Not gonna go late. I'm just gonna say this. He's gonna have, and we'll know it when we see it, right? Because a little bump and bang is the thing. His first major altercation with a fellow World of Outlaw driver is going to be with Bobby Pierce. Him and Pierce are going to scuffle. He's going to, one of them is going to carve on the other. There's going to be something, and there's going to be some hate and discontent between Turbo and Bobby Pierce. We're going to run it back to a past World USA Nationals. I'm here to tell you, there'd be nothing better for the World of Outlaw series if that happens sooner rather than later. All eyes are going to be on the World of Outlaws. So Pierce and Turbo will have friction, and he may have friction with a lot of other people, right? But the first major friction for Turbo is going to be with Bobby Pierce, and we'll decide that when we see it. That'll be something we
Of
can.
course, we've already seen it once with JD, and
Yeah, yeah. But I'm talking moving forward here because Turbo, and it, like you said, could be Gustin too. Hell, it could be Hoffman, could be T Mac, it could be it's Turbo. You just never know. But I think that Turbo maybe drives a little different around certain people, and I don't think he gives two shits about driving over the 32. And I just think that's going to happen. So there you have it. There
say,
you have it.
you know,
So
real quick here, since
yeah.
we're kind of got a short one and we skipped one of the segments, why don't you give me like I don't know, a breakdown? But we're starting the Lucas Oil season this year, so what are you expecting out of the series this year? You know what? Who's going to be the guys to beat? Top five or points? Who makes a big jump up from last year? What are you thinking? What's your thoughts on the Lucas Oil series for this year?
Well, I mean, the smart money right now has got to be on Overton, right? I mean, he's been kind of surging up, to start the season. He's looked strong, right? He's got crew help there now that they seem to be working well together. Um, boy, I think this could be a year where Brandon Overton kind of has a rebound and contends for a championship.
Really? And I know you made a bold prediction that Huddy would win the
I
championship.
did. I did.
Now, has Anthony Burrows made RTJ slower? Did he bring some of the Longhorn House team to that show, to that program? Or, I mean, he was pretty awful down at Volusia most of the nights.
He was not good down there, and
I mean,
I don't know what was
RTJ's
Burrows.
won a race this year, and it was in the Daniel Adams car.
Yeah, that is
In his
true.
own car, he's not really even sniffed a
That
win.
that's a good question. That's something to keep an eye on, right? I mean, hard to say. We'll see what happens at Volusia because RTJ has been really, really good at Volusia or at Altec, excuse me. He's been good there. Um, is RTJ going to be slower with Burrows? That's a possibility. Um, is there anybody? I mean, I said Huddy. Moran won the points last year, right? I mean, Moran didn't look very good at Volusia either.
Well, the first night he was up front. I think he got third the first night he was there, and then he missed a couple shows and said, "Boy, I really suck. I better take the day off." Took the last night off to go through the car and see if there was something wrong with it. And I don't
Right.
know. I guess if I had a prediction for the Lucas season, I think RTJ is going to run away with the points. I really do. I think he's going to run away with it. He ain't got no Chase to screw him out of it this year. He's got no JD there. I just, I don't know that, the way that point structure is, maybe Huddy can, but, I don't know that Moran can win enough races like RTJ can. RTJ can string together 10 or 12 Lucas wins in a season. And, I would think RTJ wins. I would think, Huddy and Moran battle it out for second and third. And then after that, I guess, is Shep better this year? I think Shep and Overton are fourth, fifth, maybe even, you know, uh, the 58 car, Elberson, he might kind of be in there with them.
Sheppy needs a little food on the track. I think. I think when there's a little grip, a little character, he's tough. He's. I mean, when they go through Illinois, he's going to be
Oh, for sure.
really good there. Um, does does Huddy get a little extra help maybe from Rumley, being that he runs the Rumley six? Do you think that maybe he gets a little more support from Rumley?
I mean, Overton did too. I mean, Overton ran for him a handful of times over the last couple of years, and I don't know. Maybe he will this year, but I
How
don't know.
much faster is the
A
six than the 71?
little bit.
I mean, the six, quite honestly, looked like the fastest late model in the country, right?
Right?
And the 71 is fast, but it's not the six.
I mean, he won a
Why
race
is
in
that?
the 71, and he won a race in the six.
Is
But
he on? Is he on different? Somebody told me. I think Dano told me. Is he on a different shock package in the 71 than he's on in the six?
well, the six has got Owens, and maybe he's still on the Bilsteins in the other car. I don't know, but I can't
I thought it
fathom that
said.
he doesn't
It
have
might have
both.
said something else even on there. Maybe it was Penske or something like that. I thought it said something else
Yeah,
on there.
I couldn't fathom that would be true.
Right.
Maybe
That's something to check into. Um,
I
boy,
would
I
have
don't
been
know. I
throwing
mean,
him in the garbage after as well as he ran in the six car and putting the Owens on.
I can just. I mean, whatever he had going on in the six, right? I'd be
Mhm.
like, I just want my car exactly like that one.
Right?
That's what I want. Well, whatever's on
Well,
that
who knows?
car.
Maybe Rums don't tell him what's going on. Maybe he just sets it up and tells him to drive it. It's just he's testing and he's got puts a good wheel in there and who knows?
It'll be interesting. What's going to provide better racing this weekend? Hendry County or Alltech?
All tech.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys. There's a handful of them that run really good there. You know, did you watch that video that Mudflap sent us about with Bob Pierce kind of breaking down the track at Henry County? Now, I think he's a little more hopeful for that place than I am. Looks like a freaking sandbox to me.
It looks sandy, but I mean, quite honestly, they just got to get some water in the place, right? They're gonna. I mean, because we saw it when they were practicing on it, and every practice night, I don't care
Yeah,
where
they're
you
all
are.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if they get some moisture down in that place, I think it can provide good racing. Plus, I mean, I'll take a small track over a big track, unless it latches up. I mean, hopefully it don't take rubber, right? But I mean, Alltech can kind of latch up too. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it'll be good. I mean, I don't know what channel of the IMCA stuff's on. I'm guessing that's on IMCA TV, but I'm not positive. That'll be fun to watch as well. I think there's gonna be a pretty good car count down there. So with that said, boys, she's midnight, and thanks for being a trooper and jumping on, and hopefully everybody enjoyed the show. Give props to Changa for I'm a night owl, so I stay up till 2, 3 in the
Well,
morning.
keep in mind this was my idea to do the show at like 10:30, so
And I was all for it. I was like,
well,
hell,
that's the
absolutely,
best thing
yeah.
I ever heard.
Yeah, 100%. Because I was driving through some absolute nonsense, and I'm like, I don't want to have to pull over somewhere and do the show. That would be terrible right now. So I'm glad that we got to do it tonight.
And I felt bad because Bert, he wasn't going to be able to do it. And then he's like, "Hey, you know what? I can be home at 6:30
Right.
and I can do it." Now I'm like, "Well, crap! I'm going to get home at by the time I get done eating dinner, it'll be 6:30, and I still got to snowblow the driveway and get the
I
kid to
couldn't.
a
Yeah, I
hockey
couldn't.
game."
I couldn't do it at 7 anyway. I had some other stuff going on, so I couldn't do it at 7. So it wasn't going to work. So
And
yeah. So we're gonna have Bert back. Right. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I know all you guys miss Bert. We miss Bert too. He'll be back next week for y'all. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the One to Go show.